So hello, good morning and welcome. As Philip observed in his video the other day, it is lovely that we are able to still meet together even in this virtual sense. And as a church we're having to do an increasing amount of stuff virtually within our local area. We have of course virtual prayer groups. We've managed to maintain contact whether by WhatsApp or text, email, social media, letter or phone. We have dedicated phone and email now to provide practical and spiritual support, not just to each other, but also to the wider community. But this physical separation does have the potential to be a real problem for some of us, affecting our mental health. And the Church of England, amongst many other bodies, has recognised this. And the Church of England has put together a series of reflections this Lent on specifically this issue. They can all be accessed from the Church of England's website, www.churchofengland.org. And this morning I'm going to read the first of them, and there'll be a link to the rest of them on our website too.
The hour is coming, indeed it has come, when you will be scattered each one to his home, and you will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, because the Father is with me. I've said this to you, so that in me you may have peace. Self-isolation is much talked about as a way of protecting ourselves and one another from coronavirus. Even for those of us who like solitude, this can be too much of a good thing. For others, the thought of being cut off from others for a long time is little short of soul-destroying. Isolation can be a cause of anxiety, fear, and depression. As the coronavirus crisis has developed through Lent, it's timely to recall the isolation that Jesus experienced when arrested, and to remember the enforced isolation of many around the world who are in prison for what they believe in. There's a stark contrast between Jesus' confident assertion in John's Gospel that even when deserted by all his disciples, he'll not be alone, because the Father is with him, and his desperate cry from the cross in Mark's Gospel, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Perhaps the different Gospel writers emphasise what spoke most powerfully to them, confidence or vulnerability. Or perhaps it reflects the difference between theory, the things we know are true, and painful experience, with all the confusion and emotions that it evokes. Or perhaps it's more about appearances. Jesus appearing and feeling forsaken is not alone. The disciples, scattered to their homes, have isolated themselves from God. It's easy to say, "You are not alone, God is with you." It's not easy to live with isolation from the warmth of human company. However, isolation is not really or only about how many other people are in the room or house with us. It has more to do with who is in our hearts and minds, and how we may reach beyond the confines of rooms and homes to connect with those we love. 3 have-a-go habits for praying in isolation. There are different ways in which people experience isolation, socially, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Who do you know who is isolated in these ways? Remember them in thought or prayer each day as an affirmation that they and you are not alone. Secondly, use the internet to find out about the plight of Christians and other religious minorities around the world who are isolated because of their faith. Whether in prayer, giving, or writing letters and emails, be with them. And thirdly, we're fortunate in the 21st century. With phones, tablets, and the internet, we can break barriers that would previously have been insurmountable. Can you reach out and have a conversation with someone who may struggle on their own today?
So I pray, that the peace of God, which passes all understanding, may keep our hearts and minds in the knowledge and love of God and of his Son Jesus Christ. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit, be with us all evermore. Amen.